I have these two 40-plus-year-old Mercedes in the shop today, and I'm dealing with some instrument light problems on each one. So I thought it'd be a great opportunity to talk about dash lights in these old Mercedes-Benzes. You know, a lot of people, they want to install LED lights in their dash, and rightfully so. There's two big reasons why that's a good idea. Number one, you get brighter dash lights. Number two, you get lower heat. Prevents damage to the instrument cluster. Now we're talking specifically about the lights that light up the instrument cluster. In almost all of these older Mercedes, there's two bulbs at the top of the cluster, and they can be easily replaced. On some models, you don't even have to pull the cluster all the way out. You can just pull it out part way and reach in behind. On other models, you have to pull the cluster out to change those bulbs. But, and this is a big but, it's not just a matter of going on Amazon or going on eBay and just buying some LED light bulbs. They say, oh yeah, these will work in your car, because a lot of these bulbs will not work in these old Mercedes-Benzes. And there's a reason for it. They're not wired correctly. And I'm constantly getting emails from customers or from people. They've put bulbs in their car and they say, Kent, how do you get your bulbs to work? I put these one I got in and they burn up immediately, or in some cases they burn up the circuit board, and that's a big problem. So you need to be very careful. You need to make absolutely sure you're installing the correct LED bulb, and we're talking Mercedes-Benzes from the early 70s all the way up into the mid-90s. Exclusive of the R107 and the W116, there are no LED bulbs for those instrument clusters, and I'll explain that a little later in this video. But right now, I'm going to take you in each one of these vehicles, show you the cluster, and explain the problems I'm dealing with and how we can solve them. I'm inside the white 1986 300E. This is a W124 chassis. I turned the lights off in the shop so you could see this, and I'm going to turn the instrument cluster lights on right now. Now granted, if it's really dark out, really dark, that's probably enough light, but you have to remember this is maximum. I reach over here and I'm checking the dimmer switch, and it does work. It dims a little bit, but that's as bright as it gets. And this is what you see in a lot of these older W123, W126, W201, and W124 instrument clusters. They're just barely adequate. So for this car, I want to install LEDs. Now there's a number of reasons your lights could be dim. The factory bulbs could be old and tired. You could have a potentiometer that has excessive resistance in it, or it could just be the way it was from the factory. They were never super bright. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to fix the W124. I'm now inside the Ivory 1983 300D. This is a W123 chassis, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to turn on the headlights. Look, I get nothing. No instrument cluster lights. I'll go ahead and grab a hold of this dimmer switch. Now sometimes if this happens to you, you can wiggle this dimmer switch. Maybe it's built up some corrosion on the wires, and just by working it back and forth, 15, 20 times, your dash lights may flicker on. But nothing's going on here. You can see that I'm not getting anything here. So that either means both bulbs are burned out, or that potentiometer is bad. And I notice I'm not getting any other lights over here with my switches. So that probably means most likely the dimmer switch, which is called a potentiometer, that's located right behind here, is going to have to be repaired or replaced. So that means this instrument cluster comes out. And of course, at the same time, we're going to look at those bulbs. We're going to look at the light tunnels, and hopefully I can get some really nice lights when I'm done with this W123. Unfortunately, you're not going to be able to see the before and after right now. Maybe I'll try to get it working, put the standard bulbs in, show it to you, and then pull them out and then put the LEDs in. Can't promise though. I'm back in the 300E, and I'm going to fix this one first because it's probably going to be the easiest. Hopefully, and this isn't true with every chassis, is I can get this instrument cluster pulled out enough and reach in behind, get to those bulbs without having to disconnect everything and get the cluster completely out of the car. Now I'm using my custom tools that I build here in my shop. I know there's other tools available for removing these clusters, but these are specially developed with extra strength, and you'll see why I bend them. Because we're going to slip them into each side. And then we're going to turn them 90 degrees. Okay. And we're going to wiggle and pull. Wiggle and pull. Okay, there she comes. Look at that. Now, let's see if we have access. It probably means I'm going to have to reach in here. Well, I can get to this one. And maybe if I tip it this way. Oh, I can almost get to this one. We're going to give it a try. Tip this the other way. I can go ahead and turn this bulb holder out now. You turn it counterclockwise. You know, it's nice when you don't have to pull the entire cluster out of the car. But here's the holder, and there's the bulb. That's the standard incandescent bulb that was used for almost 30 years in these old Mercedes instrument clusters. Here is the LED bulb that I modify here in my shop, and it is exclusive for the W124 chassis. Now, I know some of you are thinking, well, Kent, why does it have to be exclusive to this chassis? Well, later on in this video, I will demonstrate why. But right now, I'm going to reach in here, find the hole, and I'll start turning this clockwise until I feel it drop in, and then I'm going to lock it in place. I just had enough room using my fingertips to get the other bulb in. So now we're ready to test them. What I do is I'll push the cluster in loosely. I'm not going to push it all the way in until I actually test the bulb. So I'll get out, turn the shop lights off, and then let's see how this looks. Maybe you can tell the difference right away. Okay, you ready? Take a look. Not only are these LED, they are non-polarity LED, which means you can plug them in either way. The other thing is they are highly dimmable. Look at the sensitivity to dimming these way down to where they're off. So if you're driving real dark at night, you can dim this down so it's not glaring you in the face. But on most evenings, you can crank it up, and now you can clearly see those instruments. Okay, we're done with the 124. Now I'm going to go over to the W123 and pull that cluster. Remember, we have to pull the cluster completely out because I think we have a problem with the potentiometer. I brought some old instrument clusters out of my storage room so you could see the difference. Here is the W123 cluster. There's the W126. There is the W201. And finally, here's the W124. Now, when you look at all of them, they look very similar. There are some differences. But with this last one here, the W124, there's a big difference, and it creates a problem. But for right now, I want to go back to the W123 cluster that we just pulled out of that 300D and show you what the problems are. It can be a little challenging getting these W123 instrument clusters out, particularly if they've been in a long time. I have a lengthy video instruction that comes with my bulbs, also comes with my special dash tools if you need to see the details on how to do this. But I'm going to remove this so you can take a close look at it. And you'll see why I can just tell visually that it's not okay. you can look down in here and you can see that resistance coil spring has popped out of the groove and is deformed. Okay. Well, look at that. This hasn't been torn. It's loose and it's corroded, but this one has not been torn up. So this one is repairable. Takes a while, takes some patience. You got corrosion to deal with. You got to make sure you get rid of all the corrosion in there. You can see there's corrosion on the contacts in there, so it requires a lot of cleaning. It requires manipulating the parts and for a full refurbishment. But since these are not available new anymore, good ones are over $100, and you have to be careful when you buy one if it hasn't been properly opened up and cleaned up and refurbished. Then you could be right back where you are. So there is another option. If yours is not repairable, you can jump it. You won't get dimming lights anymore, but you will get lights. So look at this one. I didn't do this, but somebody took this 126 and they soldered a wire between these two contacts. So you get continuity across those two contacts. You get full lights. You don't get any dimming. So you can do that if you want to jump over these two. You can also just create a jumper lead and jump between these two pins. And that will give you full dash lights all the time with no dimming option. Now I've dimmed the shop lights, and I'm going to use my power probe here to test the bulbs. You can see I've attached the ground wire here to the metal backing of that instrument, and then this is the pin closest to the speedometer that I'm going to power. You can see I've only got one bulb working. So let's remove this one. Okay, now let's test them again. Okay, look at that. I've got both light bulbs lighting up. This is interesting. You can see that the new bulb I just installed is brighter than the old bulb, which is probably 10 or 15 years old. And I had mentioned that earlier. Just the age of these bulbs, they'll start to dim on their own. In many cases, even new factory bulbs will give you a little more brightness. I don't even know if you're going to be able to see this. I know it's not totally dark out, but these are the W123 instrument cluster factory lights at full brightness without a potentiometer. Now I'm going to install the LEDs. Can you believe the difference? Now I need to mention nothing changed. I realize maybe my booster pack voltage is getting a little low or something else is going on here, but I didn't change anything. Same cluster, same voltage. All I did was take the incandescent bulbs out and install my warm white LEDs and look at the difference. But you have to admit, this is going to really improve your nighttime driving experience. Well, you've obviously gotten to see the advantage of brightness, but I want to address this issue of heat. Now, I want to show you a couple pictures here. This 20 minutes, I just had these two bulbs hooked up for 20 minutes, and you can see that the incandescent bulb was over 100 degrees while the LED bulb was still down in the low 70s. When these get too hot and they get hotter, they can get all the way up to 140, 50 degrees if there's excessive resistance. But this is what happens. You get melting in the light tunnels and in the light sockets. Here you can see a W126 where it started to melt the light tunnel. And if this happens on your cluster, this will definitely decrease the light to the instruments. Now I want to show you some of the challenges with bulb insertion in each one of these clusters. I told you I was going to bring out the 116, and here it is. Unfortunately, I don't have the light socket. But these are the bulbs that are used. They're on a very long light socket. This pushes in, and this goes all the way down to the top edge of the face of the cluster. So you can see how small that bulb is. This is the W116 and the R107 convertibles. there are no LED bulbs currently this small that will work in those clusters. I wanted you to see that. Now we're going to bring in the W123. There's a nice big hole here. So any of the bulbs that I sell will fit right down in there. Now here's the original. You got to compare the differences in sizes, but you can see there's no problem with the 123. We take the W126. Same thing, even the larger LED bulbs will go down in there, no interference. And then we're going to bring in the W201. Large bulb, goes right down and locks in. It almost touches down in there, but it will work. Now finally, let's talk about the 124, because this is the one that's challenging. And for over 10 years, I've not been able to offer an LED bulb for these clusters. Everybody asks me, what about the 124? What about my 300E? Notice the factory bulb. And if you look, the hole's big enough, but the plexiglass light bar is right down in there. And if you stick the factory bulb in there, it just goes in there and clears. But look what happens when I take my standard. These have been my standard LED bulbs over the past number of years. And that goes in, but it stops right there. It hits something. So let's look at the one a little bit smaller. Goes in. You would swear that's going to go down in there, but it won't. So it came down to the fact I had to find one that was the exact size of the original incandescent bulb. So watch closely as I try to explain the challenge I've had over the last couple of years as I've sought to find a solution to this. Here is the factory incandescent bulb in the holder, and you can see it fits right down and just locks in place. Now the problem with this is it gets really hot and it's very close to that plastic light tunnel. So my feeling was if I could find an LED bulb that went in there small enough and would provide the light and reduce the heat, this would be great for all these W124 chassis. So this is the next one I found. I said, man, look, that's really close. See that? But it's a little bit longer. So I tried to shove it in by a 1/16 of an inch. Nice little bulb, but it would not work in these clusters. So finally, I was able to find an LED bulb that was the exact same size. The exact same size as the factory incandescent, and watch. It goes right in and locks right in place. But, I love these big butts, right? The wiring on this is done in such a way that it either blows the fuse or melts the circuit board in these W124 clusters. So you have to be really careful. So I almost gave up. But then I went to work and I figured out a way to take this bulb and change the wiring in it so it would work in the W124. I can currently offer bulbs for the W124 in bright white and amber. Now in the other clusters I have bright white, warm white, red, and blue. I even have a kit where you can get all the bulbs with the tools and you play around and change your color every month if you want. So if you're interested in converting your older Mercedes, the ones I've shown you here, to LEDs, I'll put links to all of them below this video. Remember, go below the video, click on Show More, and you'll get the links to purchase any of the bulbs and the tools that I offer, including full instructions for your old Benz.